Welcome back. You're watching CNN. I'm Brooke Baldwin. More on our breaking news today as President Trump reiterates his claims that former President Obama wiretapped him during the campaign. His press secretary, Sean Spicer, now apparently saying they don't regret anything after Spicer cited a Fox News contributor who says that Britain helped President Obama spy on then nominee Trump. Joining me now, Ari Fleischer. He is the former White House press secretary under George W. Bush. It is so wonderful to see you. You know, my goodness. Okay, so you have this essentially this self-induced crisis where we're coming up on 2 weeks from this early Saturday morning tweet from the president, and you have this senior White House official saying that they had apologized to GCHQ, this is the British intel agency, who smacked them when they heard that Sean Spicer had quoted this thing from Fox News. You know, Britain backed them up, but now Sean Spicer is again saying, we don't regret anything.
Yeah. Well, look, Brooke, I consider this whole thing to be an immense waste of finger movement by Donald Trump when he made those tweets, and pretty much a total waste of breath by everybody else focusing on this now. I get it. He shouldn't have done it. He went too far. He's wrong, and Washington's fixated on it. I think most of the American people understand and just kind of put it on the side. It's something that shouldn't have happened. But people really are focused much more on what's going to happen with the health bill, the economy, those issues. I get it. People have to be accountable for what they said or what they tweeted, but I consider most of this a waste of time.
Ari, you stood at that podium,
Yeah.
and you know, you took all those swings for a couple of years for Bush 43. I mean, how do you defend the indefensible?
Well, it was wrong. I said that. He went too far. He shouldn't have made those tweets. A complete waste of
But if you're Sean
finger
Spicer,
movement.
Ari, how do you stand there?
Sean's job is to carry the president's words. And so unless the president says to Sean, I made a mistake, we're going to back down, Sean must do what his boss tells him to do. The press counts on Sean to represent the president. That's his job.
Did you ever, I mean, President Bush, we've had conversations before. No, never. You've never been.
I have not been put in similar positions like this. Look, Donald Trump is unique, and it's one of his weaknesses, it's one of his strengths. If America wanted somebody who doesn't do these kinds of things, we would have elected Hillary Clinton. America knew we were elected an outsider with no governmental experience, who was not a smooth operator, but they wanted, by design, somebody to go to Washington to change things, to break things, and to improve the economy. That was the focus of the election. And that's why I'm perfectly comfortable, Brooke, saying there's a whole category of behaviors that Donald Trump engages in that I just take with a grain of salt. Some of them are bragging. Some of it's being, my countertops are the best countertops in any building you could ever buy. Nobody's lobbies are better than my lobbies. And I put that in a whole different category.
Hold on. Take it with a grain of salt. I mean, we are talking about the President of the United States. And I'm wondering if Americans, through different news cycles of these sorts of, tweets, will sort of start thinking, I'm not listening.
What's the difference? We've heard of this so often through the campaign when he also said things that were just demonstrably wrong. People standing on rooftops in New Jersey, he said thousands celebrating 9/11, or offensive. And so we've been through this, and America still chose him because they did not choose him on this basis. They chose him because they know we need an outsider to break the way things are done in Washington and get the ball moving on the economy, on health care, on trade, on job creation.
But he never apologizes.
That's why I look at these things.
He never apologizes when he makes these statements.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't apologize. Do you think, I mean, since this is a credibility...
He didn't the day before the election either.
This is a credibility issue. I've talked to, there's a Republican congressman who says that the president should apologize to President Obama. I mean, do you think that he should?
I've never been interested in getting apologies for people for this. Did Barack Obama have to apologize because he said you can keep your health care and keep your doctor? He was wrong. He shouldn't have said what he said. Same thing here with Donald Trump. But there's so many bigger fish to fry, and that's my point, Brooke. I understand that you have to, there's accountability. The press is doing its job to focus on what the president said. But I think most of the American people are just in a very different spot from the retribution the press corps takes when somebody says something that's wrong. The press hangs onto it like a dog that will not let go of someone's ankle. And it makes most people out here and the rest of America just say, when you guys in Washington are done fighting, wake me up and let me know if Obamacare is repealed. Let me know if you've replaced it. That's, I think, where the country is.
Listen, I'm with you, and we do talk health care, but this is something that keeps coming up because it's a credibility issue, and you got Congress investigating it, you know, where we're talking to both the intel committees on both sides. We've got Jim Comey in the hot seat on Monday. It's news, and it's important to ask. Last question, just on all of this, what do you make of the fact that this is now spilled overseas into Britain, and that intel agency slammed, you know, Sean Spicer, the fact that this has become an international incident?
Well, I'm hoping that people in the White House learn from all of this. I do think the biggest lesson of all is go back to that Thursday when the President made that speech to the joint session of Congress and got accolades, to that Saturday when he sent the 4 tweets. The lesson's very clear for the White House. If you want to move up in support and make the American people grow to support Donald Trump, be like the Thursday speech. If you want to be back in this soup, be like the Saturday tweets.
Ari Fleischer, thank you very much.